I'm going to go through real quick the 400 series collar that we use. If you have the 1200, please refer to the other video. I'll make one of that. It's a little bit different. So the way you can tell, this one says 400 on the back of the remote. And on your little book, it'll say 400 right there. So if yours says 1200 right here on the remote, watch our other video. Just a little bit different. So first things, everything in the box. There's a little lanyard should come with it. Hooks to your remote so you can carry it around your neck. 2-prong charger. So you can plug them both in at the same time, both rechargeable batteries. And then there should be longer prongs in this bag also. Your trainer will put on the proper prongs. So if you have shorter prongs in there, it's because your trainer said your dog needs the longer prongs. So on the collars, little red dot to little red dot on the remote. Touch them together, turns it on. Touch them together, turns it off. So simple. The biggest thing I find people with that, they get home the next day, they go to turn it on, and they go, I'm trying to touch them. They're trying to touch this big red button. Okay, so all they heard was red. So it's the 2 little red dots. Just touch them, turns it on and off. It'll blink green when it's on, red when it's turning off. So on the remote, big button on the back, push in, hold down for a second. Front will light up, turns the remote on. Push in, hold down, turns the remote off. So that big button on the back, push and hold down, turns the remote on and off. That same button, if you push and release it, it'll put a strobe on the collar. Push and release again, puts a light on. These LEDs are very bright. In here, the lights are on. You can see that it's extremely bright. Once you get home and your dog's running around out in the field or in a tree line or you're walking him down the road, you will see this. It's extremely bright. So push it again, turns it off. The little button here has a little M&C on it. That's you probably can't see it in this, but trust me, it does. It says M&C on that little button. What that does is cycles through this M&C on the front. So every time I push it, it'll put the M on and the C, then puts them both on. We always want them both on. What they do is they'll make one of these buttons jump up by 5 points, and we don't want to use that for the training. So I always want you to have the M&C on. The other thing you're going to see up here is the 1D. It's a 1-dog remote. We have a remote that controls 2 collars, so that's always going to flash. Don't worry about it. It's just there. The 0 in the middle controls the stimulation. The numbers go 0 to 100, so it goes way up. We don't need to go up that high. We're going to keep it low. A lot of people get the collar stuck, so if you have it on a number and you push this down and hold it for a second, then it'll stick on that number. So if your collar ever gets stuck on a number, you're just going to push this down and it'll turn it back off. We don't normally go over that a lot because we don't use it for anything, but I have a lot of people call me that their stuff's stuck. So that's how you turn it off. Just push and hold the dial down and it'll lock it or unlock it from the number. This button over here by itself has a big T on it. That's the test button. What it does is it makes it vibrate like a cell phone. You probably can't see that. You might be able to hear it. But trust me, it's just like your vibration on your cell phone every time you press it. Then we have the 2 buttons that we use. They both say S. The red button's the continuous. The black button is the momentary. Most of the training is done on the momentary, but the difference between the 2 buttons is the continuous one sends a longer duration to the collar than the momentary one. The momentary, every time you press and release, it's just sending that nick to the collar, where the continuous is a little different, and your trainer will tell you how to properly use both those buttons. So like I said, go by what your trainer says. Each dog's a little bit different. And if you have the 1200 series, find our other video for the 1200.